All right, today's topic is part two, snap to grid, part two of things you may or may not know about snapping in Xara. All right, so again, if you watched the first video, which was the introduction to this entire topic, you'll know that the um, pound or number or hash key, right? It's right here, is what turns on the the grid on and off, toggles the grid on and off. You can also do that by going to Window and Show Grid. Yeah, right there. And there's two different types of grids. One is the rectangular grid, which shows the rectangular lines, and one is the isometric, which I use to draw this kind of 3D box right here. Snapping to grid. Basically, once you turn on snapping to grid or snap to grid, grid points act like magnets. You can turn it on in three different ways. One is by right-clicking on the page and going to this Snap to, turning on Snap to Grid. You can also go to the Window menu item and scroll down to Snap to Grid right here. And this also tells you the third way, on the number keypad, you can press the decimal key to turn it on. I'm on a laptop, so I don't have that. But anyway, those are the three different ways to turn on Snap to Grid. Web documents, anything, if you go here, File, New, any of these templates right here, these first three, which are web documents, web pages, those automatically have Snap to Grid on by default. And that's important for the whole pixels. You want to, when you draw things for web documents, you really kind of want to have things in whole pixels. It's a generally good rule anyway. Anything you want to export, you want in whole pixels. One of the it used to be one of the most commonly asked questions on all the different forums was, when I draw an item, I get a border around the item. In this case, it would be a white border because I have a white background here. Most often would be because that is the person did not draw their graphic in whole pixels, and it didn't start and end on a whole pixel. With this setup, like I have it in the utilities, which I showed before in the last thing, where I have major spacing set to 50 pixels and the number of subdivision set to 50. So each individual whole pixel is a point in the grid. With that setup, it's pretty much idiot proof. I can't draw any kind of regular shape that's not doesn't start at a whole pixel, right? There's the X and Y position, and it doesn't have a whole number of pixels in it. I mean, you can do some things like that that are, kind of accidentally on purpose. If I were to rotate this, right, I can get things that don't start on whole pixels anymore, right? And it's width and height and width are not whole pixels anymore. So you can screw it up on purpose if you really want to, but it's not something you want to do. And because I have this, right, if I were to drag it around, I might end up on a whole pixel. Yeah. In any case, that's my rant about whole pixels. And then the last thing you need to know about snapping to grid is if the shape of an object is such that various edges of the shape or the object can't be snapped, right? Like this, it has a bunch of curved edges. The edge that snaps depends on the direction the object is dragged in. So if I'm going to drag it this way, yeah, this point right here, this side right here should be snapped to the grid. If I go down really close, you can see that the end point here is aligned on this grid line right here. Yeah? If I were to grab it and go in this direction, you can see, just pulling it straight down, that the furthest point on this line is what got snapped to this particular grid. Okay, that's the way that works. I am just about out of time, so I will come back and talk about the next topic in a few minutes.